Hi, this is Tisch Aitken, and it is Friday, July 19th, 2024. A lot happening astrologically. Certainly, a lot has been happening. We had the pairing of Mars and Uranus meet up at the fixed star known as Algol. That's 26 degrees of Taurus and is connected with losing one's head. And Mars and Uranus meet up in the sky once every 2 years. That can bring explosions, that can bring violence, that can bring chaos. With Uranus, whatever you think it is, it's going to be something else. Expect the unexpected. And again, at the fixed star known as Algol, people in chaos losing their heads and their wits about them. And it's an innovative energy, but it is very unpredictable and chaotic and violent. And so we dealt with that energy. Uranus is still transiting at Algol. And now we're approaching a second full moon. But Mars has been in the sign of Taurus for a while, and it is in its detriment in Taurus. It rules the opposite sign of Scorpio in ancient astrology. So it doesn't like being in Taurus. It's very slow moving. It seems kind of combative to me. It's not a pleasant placement for it. And it can be combative in Scorpio, but it's really tough and fierce, not so much in Taurus. And so it's going to leave the sign of Taurus on July 20th at 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will transit in the sign of Gemini through September 4th. And Mars in Gemini is a lot better energy because Mars is how you get drive and get things accomplished and take action. And in the sign of Gemini, where Jupiter, the grand benefic, is transiting through June 9th of next year. Jupiter doesn't love being in Gemini, but Mars in Gemini is fun because you can get a lot done in a burst of time, a short burst of time. You can multitask. Gemini is very good at multitasking. It's mutable energy, and it is good for networking, taking action to network with local businesses and socialize and connect with people. Mercury will retrograde on August 4th, in the beginning of August, initially in Virgo, which is the other sign it rules. So Mars is going to defer to Mercury retrograde. So there will be a bit of a backwards energy. And as we get to the middle of August, we're going to have Venus in Virgo. We're going to have a lot of planets in mutable signs forming a T-square, and we're going to have Saturn form its first square to Jupiter, which is a readjustment of what you're trying to expand. And that's going to occur on August 19th. So that's going to be tough energy. But it's a restructuring. So this weekend, we have the full moon occurs at 6:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's at an anaretic degree, meaning the final degree of the sign. And this encapsulates all the energy and hopefully helps us to master the lessons of that sign. And this is also where Pluto, the planet of death and transformation, returns to 29 degrees of Capricorn from September 1st through November 19th. And with that, this full moon is giving us a preview of what Pluto in Capricorn, its last dance in Capricorn. And in this full moon chart, we're wrapping up a story, the full moon at the last degree of Capricorn, which among other things, Capricorn is about responsibility, goals, achievement, integrity. Have you been operating with integrity and coming from that place? Have you been doing the things you need to do? Neptune is at the last degree of the zodiac and of Pisces. It will remain there through September 4th, and then it's going to be there on and off in 2026. That is another fixed star that is not an easy one. It's known as Shiat. That is a fixed star connected with drowning and being lost at sea, shipwrecks, suicide, and self-undoing. It also is highly creative and intuitive and sensitive energy if used in the best way. But knowing that this full moon, this is the second full moon in Capricorn. The first was on June 21st, the day after the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. And in this case, it was at 1 degree and 7 minutes of Capricorn, defaulting back very early. The Pluto and Capricorn story initially began in 2008, and the end of, well, on and off in 08, and then it got to 1 degree of Capricorn at the very end of 2008, and it was there on and off 08 and 09. It's speaking back to the very early story, and 08, 09 was when Pluto was also transiting at the world axis, 0 cardinal, and that brought down many structures. That was the financial collapse, the housing collapse, that was the Bernie Madoff scandal, and that changed business in many ways. And then we had Saturn and Pluto, the two malefics, which meet up approximately every 36 years or so, every 37 years. And they met up on January 12th of 2020. That was the beginning of the height of the pandemic. I know it had already begun, but that also was where permanent structures, there was a global pandemic that impacted everyone. There was mass death, Pluto at the world axis, of lives, but also ways of doing business. And the way we do business is forever changed because Saturn did dip into Aquarius on and off in 2020, and it proceeded to transit there through March 7th of last year. And that brought on a whole other story. And you add to the fact that Pluto, the planet of transformation, is now newly in the sign of Aquarius. It took a brief dip from March 23rd through June 14th of last year. It re-entered Aquarius on January 20th of this year. And now it's returning to Capricorn. It retrograded on May 2nd. It's returning at 2 degrees of Aquarius. So this is about the future. Aquarius is about futuristic vision, technology, aviation, outer space. And this is about new ways of doing things. This is about raising the bar. This is about intellectual revolution. But with Pluto conjunct Aquarius, it is Pluto's in Aquarius, but this full moon conjunct Pluto, the last degree of Capricorn, we are saying goodbye on the collective. There are a lot of things going on. Capricorn can represent CEOs and CFOs, people in leadership, people in authority, governments, world leaders. There's going to be definite change, and we're letting go of certain things, but this is also in making space for the future. Pluto in Aquarius is very much about the future. And so we have one final dance. And what are you facing in your own life that you need to let go of? This can be very psychological. We are still in Cancer season a little while longer, in which you process your feelings. You process the information through your feelings. Cancer is a cardinal water sign, very much about processing through your emotions. Does this feel good or not? And this full moon conjunct Pluto is going to be a whopper of a full moon. This is incredible intensity, and it's wrapping up the story. It's also giving us a preview of this fall from September 1st through November 19th, the final journey of Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto takes 248 years to transit in a sign. It will not come back to Capricorn in our lifetime once it leaves on November 19th, something to bear in mind. And so that said, this full moon is conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, letting go of the old to make space for the new, but it makes a beautiful angle to Uranus in Taurus, which is Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, elevating your consciousness, learning, communing with others, raising the bar again. And they both make a trine to Juno in Virgo, partnering with others that can help you achieve that. Mercury proceeds to square Uranus later in the day, and that happens at 6:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that brings Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Very inventive and innovative energy, but unexpected news could come out. twists and turns, changes in plans, shocking things happening with this full moon. And so knowing that, but also innovative energy. This full moon is trine Uranus, saying let's go towards the future. We have Venus and Jupiter, the two benefics of the zodiac, working in harmony. They form what's known as a sextile at 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is making space to enjoy beauty and nature and love. What do you love? There's a lot you're letting go of, but you're also moving towards what you want, in this. Not all easy, very difficult karmic lessons, but the benefics are in harmony. The sun trines Neptune at, I believe it's at 9:25 p.m. Eastern, 11:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's beautiful energy. That's tapping into the dream. Neptune at the final degree of Pisces, very sensitive energy where you want to check in on people that have mental health problems and addiction problems. There could be a lot of overdoses with this energy, a lot of people making poor choices. But for those that have been ill for a long time, those souls are passing over. Again, a lot of people passing over with this energy that can't take it anymore on this earth. And saying goodbye to things you need to release. And I'm saying goodbye to somebody I love very much, but he's 97 and it's his time to be free. And with this too, we have the sun enters. So we've got Mars forms a beautiful trine to Pluto late at 11:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, Mars taking action through the beginning of September in Gemini, learning different things, connecting with different people, networking. And that's a facilitating and empowering aspect. The sun enters Leo on July 22nd at 3:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it will transit for a month. And then it's going to oppose Pluto late on Monday evening at 10:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and at 1:48 a.m. on July 23rd. That's Pacific, and then Eastern Standard Time. So the 22nd, 23rd, whenever planets ingress into fixed signs, they automatically set off Pluto. There's something to release in order to transform. There is a letting go in this full moon, even in entering Leo season. But we are preparing for the future, Pluto and Aquarius. This is an intense weekend. I know it will be for me. I know it will be for a lot of you. Face what the lessons are coming up for you. Heed the messages with the full moon in Capricorn. You can build something. It is an architect, the cosmic architect, in which you build and assemble your lessons and goals and bring it into a cohesive form. Saturn and Pisces, good luck to all of us, but in reality, that's the message. Good luck and take care.